Hi everyone, and welcome back to Stamp with Anna. Today's apron card is a masculine card. As I mentioned the other day, I was going to make a masculine one, and this is supposed to mimic the orange aprons at the big box hardware store, Home Depot. And this is great for a thank you card for someone if you're giving them a gift card to Home Depot, or if it's their birthday and they're always shopping at Home Depot, this would be a great card for them. It's made almost the same as the other aprons we made, except it's there are a couple differences. So what we need is we need two separate pieces of paper that are going to make this. We're not making it all one piece like we did before. We are making the little straps on the apron. So these two pieces of I'm using pumpkin pie are 4 1/4 by 4 1/2, and it's important to, when you're doing your cutting, to make sure that you do have the 4 1/4 going horizontally. Then to make these little straps, we have two pieces of paper that are each cut 3/4 by 3, and we're going to score them at 1 1/2. And then to make the pocket, the back part of the pocket, we have a piece of pumpkin pie that is 3 by 1 1/2. To make the smaller pocket, we have another piece that's 2 by 1. And to make this pocket up here, we have a piece that's 1 by 1. And then to make this little card that slips in, we're going to use a piece of crumb cake that's 2 by 1 1/2. Now, the way we're going to make these cuts on the apron are the same as we did last time. So what I'm going to do is, with a little bit of repositionable tape, I'm just going to tape my two pieces together so that they don't move at all while I'm going through the Big Shot. And because it's repositionable tape, I can just wipe it right off when I'm done, and it won't leave a mark. So what I'm going to do is, with my ruler, okay, so much like we did with the other apron, we're going to mark off on the corners. On the other ones, we came in 1 inch on either shoulder. This time I'm not going to come in quite 1 inch. 3/4 of an inch might be a little narrow, so I'm going to come in 7/8 of an inch on either side. You can certainly adjust that if you want to do 1 because you don't like eighths. That's fine. And then we're going to do 2 1/4 up on each side. Then, like we did last time with the layering ovals framelit, we're going to line those two tick marks up, and we're going to trace, and we're going to cut it out on the Big Shot, and I'll be right back. Last time, we're going to take this piece that we just cut off, we're going to turn it over and bring it here, line them up with those tick marks, and we're going to trace. Then I'm going to line this up with my framelit and cut both pieces out on the Big Shot. I'll be right back. Okay, now again, we need to fix these little curves that I just don't like. So we're gonna make a straight line on either side, and then we're just going to snip it with our paper trimmer, our scissors, excuse me. It is a small little line that we're trimming because the oval shapes weren't as deep as the other ones. Okay, so now that we have that, what we're going to do is we're going to sponge all of our pieces. I'm going to take these two pieces apart now. And because this is repositionable tape, with your adhesive remover or just your finger, it's going to come right off. So this is the back of our apron, so we're going to put that aside. We're going to take our the front of our apron, and all of the other pieces that we have, and we're going to sponge them with some pumpkin pie ink. And the way we do that, now remember, when you're sponging, you want to come in off, you don't want to pounce right on there because it'll leave a mark. So you want to come in off your paper and do this. Do it like that. And we're going to do it to this whole front piece. I'm going to do all these pieces off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, my pieces are all sponged. Now the next thing we have to do is make our faux stitching. So with a ruler, I'm just going to show you real quick on part of this, and then I'll go off camera so you don't have to watch me doing that. To make our faux stitching, I'm using the soft suede Stampin' Right marker with the fine tip, and I'm just going to go all the way around and make little stitch marks. I don't need my ruler when I get to the cutout part, obviously, because it's curved. And now, because this is a heavy-duty apron, I am reinforcing my corners, so you'll see that I overlapped my stitches, so that makes it look like it's nice and reinforced. So I'm going to go off camera and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, all of my stitching is done. So what I did on the two shoulder pieces, I scored that at 1.5, and I'm going to just bend that because this is 3 inches long, so I scored it in half. And what I did for this top pocket before I stitched was I just angled the bottom to give it a bit of a stitch look. So now I can attach, I can do some of the attaching, but before we do it all, we have to put in some little eyelets. So because this is cut at 4.5, we want it to be an A2 size card, so we want to bring the height of it up to 5.5. So we're going to use some tear tape because we have ink on this, and if we use like snail or fast fuse might work, but you really want something that's going to attach itself to the ink. So what we're going to do on each of the ends of our shoulder straps, we're going to put a little piece of tear tape. Then we're going to, with my pierce tool, we're going to take this off on one side, okay? And if you have any overhang like I do, just tuck it back in. Okay, so now we're going to take our card and we're going to take our ruler. I'm going to put the ruler right next to the card. Now we want this to measure 5.5. So I'm going to take the side that hasn't been peeled off yet and tuck that back there. And we're going to fold this over and bring it up, line it up with the 5.5. And when we're at the 5.5 and we like where it is, we're going to press down. Then we're going to do the same thing with the other one. And this one is a little easier to do because you're just going to line it up with this one here. Okay, so now that is attached. Now we're going to take the sticky off the back. And we're going to line up our card. Make sure we're going in the right direction. Okay, and we're just going to lay these down. I chose not to sponge the back of my card. You can certainly sponge it if you like, but I decided not to. So I'll take that little piece of off. Okay, so there we go. Now, we can attach our little pocket, and again, because we have ink on this, I'm going to use tear tape just because that's how I know that it's going to be good and secure and it's not going to fall off. Okay, so put a little bit there, a little bit here. And again, I have extra, so I'm just going to tuck that in. And I'm going to put this right here. Now, I can attach the two pocket pieces together. Oh, and when I was doing my stitching, I put stitches down the center of the inner pocket because I think that's how I've seen them at the store. I might be wrong, but I thought it looked good. So again, I'm going to take some tear tape. And turning back any pieces that I have, and I'm going to center that on this pocket. Now I can't do any more attaching until I put in my eyelets. And I had some eyelets in my stash here I've had forever, and we need 6 of them. So let me see if I have 6 of the same color. Now I have a spring-loaded setter, eyelet setter. I've seen people who have the hammer and the, you know, the whole toolkit that goes with that, but I never got one of those. I have this great little one. I got this at Michael's, AC Moore, Joann's or something. One side of it, you just spring it down and it's going to pop the hole. The other side, after you've done it, you set it, and that's that. So I'm going to go do this off camera because I do it on a different surface so I don't ruin this. I'll be right back. Okay, I have all of my eyelets set. So now I'm just going to attach this piece right here. And again, I'm going to use my tear tape. And I do have my eyelets in the way, so I do want to try to get as close as I can so that they don't lift. But I don't want it on top of my eyelet because I don't want it to show. But I think this will be just fine. And when you are setting your eyelets on your front, be sure you only set it on the top. You don't set it through the bottom half as well. So when you make your hole, you don't want a hole on the inside of your card. Oh, and I was only supposed to put this on 3 sides because I need to leave a spot for my card. Okay, so I have that off. Here we go. And we're just going to center that right there. Now for the card, I have this tiny scrap of crumb cake, and using the Thoughtful Banner stamp set and a little bit of early espresso, I'm making mine as a thank you card. I'm going to just stamp this right in the middle. And then with a sponge dauber, I'm going to just come around the edges and add a little bit of highlighting. I think it just gives it a more appropriate look since it is a work apron. And then I'm just going to attach that right in there, and there we have it, our Home Depot apron. Now I could have used, like we did with the other ones this week, like a canvasy type ribbon and ran the ribbon across, but I thought that this looked a little better. I liked it better this way. So whichever way you'd like. I think the aprons at the stores have orange neck pieces, but I chose to do it more like suspenders. So there's our masculine thank you card with an apron thank you card. And tomorrow will be the last day of the apron series, and I am hoping to do a 3D box for tomorrow's project. And hopefully work won't get in the way and I won't be too tired when I get home to make it. So I hope you'll join me tomorrow for the last day of the apron series. If you have any questions about this project or any of the products I've used, or if you would like a copy of the new holiday catalog, certainly contact me through my blog, www.stampwithanna.blogspot.com. Thanks so much, and we'll see you tomorrow.